major headache. Hello, folks. Welcome back to our show reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the book, The Headless Ghost. Number 37 from OG62, Goosebumps. Wow, the front cover really amazes me. It is so creepy and scary. Basically, it's taking place inside a creepy old house. And basically, you have that stairwell, and somebody is walking down the steps, and that somebody is kind of like a figure, some kind of a ghost, right? As you can see through it, and it is very pale and bluish and white, and basically that individual is his head is missing. You know, it's not standing on its neck. Instead, it's actually it's not standing on its neck. Instead, it's actually in the ghost's hand. Right, he's holding it on his right hand. In his right hand. So basically, it's pretty creepy. It's a pretty front cover. You have the candlelight that is spreading this yellowish glow and orange, and the banister seems to be, glowing as well. Yellow. You have some shadows there too. You have some cobwebs. Yeah, it's pretty much like bluish, and the yellow light that is reflected on basically the wood. So yeah, pretty much everything is in yellow and blue, and I also like the colors that are framing the front cover, the purple and pink. Wow, that is such a great cover. I really love it, and it is really creepy, and this face, this human face that is actually the ghost's looks so good. And that is one a front cover that I really enjoy from Goosebumps from OG62. OG62 has some of the creepiest covers. And that one definitely takes the cake if you ask me. There are a few others that are scary as well, very scary and creepy, but this one is definitely creepy. So now let's move on to the book itself. Now, the story itself. Now that I spoke about the front cover. So the book is about basically those two friends. Their names are Dwayne Comac or Comic, and his friend Stephanie Albert. And basically, they live in this town called Wheeler Falls. And basically, they're having fun, scaring kids. Basically, they would hide behind the bushes or something like that, and they would just jump out as soon as they spot kids, walking down the block or something, the street. And basically, they're having fun, scaring these kids and everything. And basically, there's that kind of there's that thing that is taking place next to their house. There's that big that place called Hell House that is kind of like a mansion, if I'm not mistaken. It is kind of the main attraction of the city in Wheeler Falls. And basically, this building is thought to be haunted, as there's that kind of that local story about basically a headless ghost, right? So basically, what happens is that they go to that tourist attraction that is in their in their town, and basically they kind of like explore the house as they take the tour. They do that pretty often, and the guide, his name is Otto, and he's kind of used to them, and he's their favorite because he's really creepy. He's bald, if I'm not mistaken, and he's kind of, I don't know if he's kind of short, if I'm not mistaken, And basically, as they visit the house, as they take the tour, and they explore the house, basically he would actually tell them all those scary stories about the headless ghost and everything, the whole story, the whole legend. I don't want to tell you exactly what it is because I don't want to spoil the book in any shape or form. But basically, yeah, he's going to tell them all these creepy stories. And as they take the tour one night, during Halloween, if I'm not mistaken, or during the Halloween week, basically, yeah, this book takes place around Halloween. Basically, they're going to go there at night. It's a windy night, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty dark outside. It's cold. It's chilly. They're gonna take the tour and they're gonna visit all these rooms inside the house. And basically, what's gonna happen is that they're gonna decide to look for the headless ghost's head. And so basically, they're gonna stay there. They're gonna take the tour with them. With the tour, with the whole how could I say, like they're gonna take the tour with the others. Everything seems to be fine at first, but then they're gonna find a way to sneak out, so to speak, and they're gonna go on their own and try to find the head as it actually makes them very, they love being scared and everything. So they feel like it's a challenge that they're willing to take, and they really want to make that discovery, that huge discovery about the house, about the head and everything, and the ghost, and understand the legend. Now the legend, or the story, I don't want to tell you exactly what it is, but it's basically kind of like a love story, and basically it happens, and it ends, kind of in a tragic way. But I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens, as I don't want to spoil the book, as I mentioned before. So basically, they're going to try to look for the head and everything. They're going to get lost at some point and everything, and they're going to visit the house, in a way. They're going to go to places they've never been before, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to, walk up the stairs. They're going to go up the stairs. They're gonna go down the hallways and everything. So it's kind of like some kind of a mansion kind of story, obviously. Yeah, it's like they're going to all those different places, and they're taking us readers with them, along with them and everything. Different floors, different places inside the house. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And obviously, something is going to happen at the end, and the final twist is going to, come. But yeah, I don't want to spoil too much anything, so I think I'm going to stop it right here without going any further. In terms of the book itself, because I don't want to spoil it, or ruin ruin the main plot of the book. So yeah, I think I said it all pretty much, more or less. So now let's move on to my personal thoughts on the book. Wow, this book was so great. It was so good. I'm actually quite surprised that not more people speak about it for some reason, The Headless Ghost is kind of a book that I always wanted to read when I first started Goosebumps. I read it like 2 years ago, so I'm sorry if I kind of forgot a few things about it, but I actually was always kind of amazed by the front cover, and the story. It kind of mesmerized me. It was so good. It was so good. It actually, yeah, it mesmerized me. I actually thought that the book was written in such a good way, right? It was really well done, and the descriptions, everything, the characters, I loved it so much, and the characters are really enjoyable, and everything is good in this book. It makes sense. It is well written. It's well executed. And this book was actually so awesome. It's one of the darkest Goosebumps books from OG 62. And it could have as well been a book from Series 2000, right? It had actually the potential to be one of the books from Series 2000 because of how scary it was, how dark it was, right? Instead, every day you get to read a book about a headless person, right? A headless ghost or a severed head, things like that. Wow, that was intense, all right. And yeah, I would recommend it for like small children because it has some graphic scenes in it, especially if you take the front cover into consideration. That is kind of creepy. But yeah, the book itself was pretty good, man. I enjoyed it. I really loved it. And yeah, curiously enough, I don't hear a lot of people speak about this book. It's like it kind of slipped through the cracks. Because I don't know, like I I I I would have thought that more people would speak about it, and even some people could even say that this book is their favorite from OG62. Could have been their favorite from OG62. It was so good and dark. It's one of my favorites of all time. One of my favorite Goosebumps books of all time. It was so well written and so scary and creepy and dark and pleasant to read, man. And yeah, I'm kind of surprised, like that not more people like this book. It was really worth it. It was worth my time. It's a good book that takes us inside the house and all throughout the book. You get to go and visit all these different places, and it was so good, man. It was so well written. It was really well written and enjoyable and likable and scary, suspenseful, mysterious. It had all the greatest things from the Goosebumps genre. It had all the greatest things from the Goosebumps genre. Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a great book, and it's definitely scary and creepy. And if one is looking for a scary book this Halloween, this one is definitely worth it. I would definitely, I would definitely add it to some kind of a Halloween book list. If, for example, you're selecting a few Goosebumps books for this Halloween, and basically, you already know what books to read. I would definitely add this to the list. I would definitely add this one to the list because it is definitely worth it, man. And it's gonna be the greatest time of the year to read this book if you up to it, if you up for it, yes, right. So yeah, basically, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, the legend. I didn't want to spoil too much anything, but it's basically, yeah, there's some. It has something to do with the sea and the captain. But that's all I'll say. I'm just making sure I haven't forgotten anything important about this book. There's a boy named Andrew. Andrew. Basically, it's gonna be part of the story, but I'm not gonna tell you exactly what he does, what happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And Hill House is a great place, and it's actually, I believe there's a TV show that is called The Haunting of Hill House. I haven't watched this show, but maybe it's kind of similar to this book. But yeah, it was worth mentioning in my opinion. But yeah, Hill House is a great place. It's a great house, a creepy mansion. It's a creepy place. It's kind of like a castle, if I'm not mistaken. Like it's a house, but it's huge, right? Yeah, very good as well. That was very good. What else could I say? Like, so that I don't forget anything important. Yeah, it's kind of like a ghost story, as I mentioned. So, it's kind of like Welcome to Dead House in a way, and some other books. Yeah, it's a ghost story, right? Right. So the missing head theme was pretty good in my opinion. It was creepy, and like I said, a severed head is not something you read often in Goosebumps books. So yeah, it was pretty scary and dark, and yeah, kind of graphic even, and pretty freaky, pretty terrifying actually. So watch out for for the scary scenes, right? And if you have kids, yeah, wait for like a few years before you let them read it. I would say 11 years old could be okay. 11 years old, but not necessarily before that because it's really dark. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Otto is a great character. I liked him a lot. The kids, Dwayne and Stephanie, were pretty likable characters, as I mentioned. Yeah, pretty much everybody's okay in this book. The fear thing worked very well. Everything, the house, all those different places. At some point, they go. Basically, it's kind of like a tour, right? And you go to all those different places I mentioned. The pantry at some point, yeah. But it's a great book, really. You feel inside the house as you read it. It is such a pleasant read. It is such an amazing adventure, man. I would definitely recommend you to read it if you like those kinds of stories. Like, if you like these kinds of stories, it's kind of like being like in a museum. It's kind of like being in a museum at night, right after closing time, and being lost in there, losing yourself. It's kind of like that maze kind of. It's kind of like they're in a maze and they're trying to find their way out. I don't know if they get lost at some point or if they just hang around to just look for the head. I kind of forgot a little bit some elements in the book. I apologize about that. But it was really good. It was really enjoyable. I really liked that. A lot about this book. The fact that they go to all those different places. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I keep repeating myself so much, and I apologize for that. It's kind of annoying. I get that. And sorry about this, but it's just like, I read this book quite a few years ago. And actually, yeah, 2 years ago, as I mentioned. So I forgot a few things about it, but I still want this review to be good. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. And if I messed up on anything in particular, if I messed anything up, while I was summarizing the book, please let me know in the comment section down below, and you can clear anything up in case I made any mistake while reviewing this book. But I think that's that's what I said was pretty accurate, right? And so now I may move on to my personal review, my personal rating on the book, and then I'll conclude by reading the summary as I usually do. So if I were to give that book a rating, I think I'd give it 8.5 out of 10. It was a great book. It was really enjoyable. Actually, I'd give it 9 out of 10 because it was so good and creepy and scary. 9 out of 10, one of my favorite Goosebumps books of all time. One of my favorite Goosebumps books of all time. Really scary, really, really well written, and really well made. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Honestly, this book is definitely worth your time. And yeah, I would definitely recommend you to read it. And I guess that's pretty much it, right? So what about you, folks? I give this book a 9 out of 10. What about you? Did you like the Headless Ghost? Did you hate it? And what kind of rating would you give it? Would you recommend it? What did you like about the book? Let me know in the comment section down below, folks. I really can't wait to hear about what you have to say on this book. And, well, I'll see you on the next review for The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. In the meantime, folks, stay safe and goodbye. Take care. This Horton Reviews for you, signing off. And now I'm going to be reading the summary. They've got a real head start. Everyone knows about Hill House. It's the biggest tourist attraction in town. That's because it's haunted. Haunted by the ghost of a 13-year-old boy. A boy with no head. Dwayne and Stephanie love Hill House. It's dark and creepy and totally scary. Still, they've never actually seen the ghost until the night they decide to go on a search. A search for his head.